We're living during a time where recording modern metal at home has never been easier. As long as you've got a decent laptop, an audio interface, and some monitors or headphones, you've already got more than enough to get you started. But with so many plugins out there, both paid and free, it can be hard to know which one is actually worth using, especially if you're on a budget. So today, I'll be sharing with you my favorite free plugins I use all the time that will level up your modern metal production. I'll leave a link to the websites where you can download these plugins in the description. And with that out of the way, let's jump in. So the first plugin we're gonna look at is one you've probably already heard of. I'm talking about Valhalla Supermassive. It's a free reverb and delay plugin that lets you create super ambient, spacey, and massive atmospheric sounds. There's a ton of presets to play around with, and the layout is super easy to tweak, so you can dial in exactly what you want. Honestly, I find it wild that a plugin this good is completely free. I use it all the time in my mixes. Here's what it sounds like in the last project I worked on. Alright, so I have my most recent project opened up here. This one's called The Riffs That Prove These Bands Should Be Huge. In case you missed that video, I'll leave a link to it somewhere up top here as a card for you all to check out. So the way I'm going to set this up is I have my main rhythm guitars highlighted here. As you can see, there's spaces in between them, and that's because they're followed by these high dissonant chords that I just highlighted down here. They're in these two separate tracks, and the reason for that is I wanted the exact same signal chain as the rhythm guitars, but I wanted Valhalla at the bottom of the chain. So the way I'm going to do this is I turned off Valhalla Supermassive already. So as you can see, they're turned off. I'm gonna solo just these 4 guitars, so that way you can hear what the guitars sound like without the effect of Valhalla. So here we go. So as you can hear, they just sound like regular guitars, but played up on the higher register of the guitar. So now I'm gonna turn on Valhalla, and the preset I'm using is called Fast Ensemble. And to me, that achieved this ambient, atmospheric, spacey, eerie sound that I was going for. So I turned on the left guitar, here's the right guitar. And now you can really hear what the reverb is gonna do to these dissonant chords. Here we go. So as you can hear, they do a lot to changing and manipulating the regular sound of the guitar. Like I said before, I use this reverb plugin all the time. It's actually crazy how good it is and that it's completely free. And yeah, I highly recommend this one. Now, the next set of plugins come from YouTuber Venus Theory, and if you don't know who that is, you're definitely doing yourself a disservice. He's a sound designer and video game composer who makes videos on music production, sound design, and his creative process. He also puts out these thought-provoking mini documentary style videos on creativity and philosophy. If any of that sounds appealing to you, definitely check him out. I watch his channel all the time. On top of that, he also makes high quality plugins, and most of them are completely free. He does have some where you have to pay, but the free plugins are already insane enough. They all have really clean, easy to use interfaces, but still give you a ton of expressive control to create unique textures and soundscapes. In my opinion, his plugins even give the big companies a run for their money. The only thing you need to run these plugins is the decent sampler, which is completely free. The first one we're looking at is called Forms Piano. This is a piano library that gives you authentic piano sounds, but also a bunch of ambient and textured pianos that are perfect for layering. It's loaded with great presets. Here's what this one sounds like in my Terrifier modern metal project. Next up is Synthbox. This is a virtual synth instrument with 20 unique patches that lets you create some insane textures and depth in your mix. Honestly, in my opinion, the synth instruments that Venus Theory offers are on the same level and in the same class as something like Serum 2, but literally for a fraction of the cost. Here's what this one sounds like in my Terrifier Modern Metal project. Now, after that is Ephrys. This one leans more into the dark cinematic soundscape that's great for building tension. It comes loaded with 10 presets and custom reverb IRs, which help shape the atmosphere. Here's what this one sounds like in the Terrifier project. And lastly, there's Solaris. This is the final synth instrument I use from his lineup. Now, similar to his other ones, this one's great for dark cinematic textures and drones, but it really helps add depth and dimension to a mix. Once again, here's what this one sounds like in my Terrifier project. Alright, so the next two free plugins are also synth instruments that run inside the free KONTAKT player. I just recently got into KONTAKT when I bought my new laptop, and I gotta say, yeah, there was a bit of a learning curve, but once I got the hang of it, it started to make a lot more sense. The first free synth is called Analog Dreams. This is a native instruments plugin inspired by 1980s analog synths, and it lets you blend two sound sources together to create really unique electronic textures. It comes with a ton of presets to choose from, which makes it super easy to dial in something quick. Here's what this one sounds like in my Stranger Things Modern Metal project. The next free synth from Native Instruments is Ethereal Earth. This one leans more into the otherworldly atmospheric sounds like pads, drones, textures, and just like Analog Dreams, it allows you to blend two sound sources together for extra creative control, and it comes loaded with a ton of great presets. Now, I'll be honest with you, I haven't used this instrument in any of my projects just yet. So what I did was I replaced one of the instruments from my Stranger Things project with a preset called Forest Etheria, and I thought it sounded super sick. So here's what this one sounds like in that project. So for the bonus plugin, this is another free synth instrument I used to rely on all the time as my main synthesizer. I'm talking about Surge XT. This thing is extremely powerful and versatile, and it's easily one of the best free synth plugins on the market. And in my opinion, it's also super underrated, and for whatever reason, it's just not talked about enough. It offers a ton of depth from subtractive synthesis to wavetable morphing and really deep modulation options. It also comes with a massive collection of factory presets, and one of the coolest things about this plugin is that it also comes with a ton of third-party presets as well. Now, I couldn't find any projects saved on my hard drive where I was using this plugin, so what I'm doing to work around that is I'm using my Halloween Ends Final Trailer Music project and replacing one of the instruments with a preset from Surge XT. I think Surge XT has this very John Carpenter style and vibe sound quality to it, which I think would fit perfectly with this project. The preset I'm using is called OB8 Jump, and this is based off that iconic synth riff from Van Halen's song Jump. So here's what this one sounds like in that project. So I really hope you found some hidden gems in this video. There's so many free creative tools out there that spark inspiration and deliver world-class sound. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll leave all the links to download everything I talked about down in the description. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely means a lot to me, and I appreciate all the support I've been getting from you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.